Okay, it's everybody out there. 6 o'clock, we'll call to order Grayson County Board of Supervisors. Ms. Smith, you mind doing the application for my pledge?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Pray. Father, thank you for the day that's been given. We live here in Grayson County, this beautiful county that we've been given to take care of. We pray that you'd be with our board of supervisors tonight as they conduct the county business. Be with each one. Thank you for all your blessings. In the name of
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, sir. On the back. Anybody wants to read over that?
Recording in progress.
If you look over the agenda, the consent agenda, I like the motions made to amend the agenda to the closed session to include A5, which is Code of Virginia for discussion about prospective business or industry or expansion of existing business or industry.
I'll make that motion with that recommended change.
I have a second.
Second.
Second, all in favor, aye. Okay. Okay, I have none. Now, Chevy, your reports.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I was, as I meet with my different department heads every month, I realized that most of them have 5 to 10 different initiatives that they're working on. And it hit me that I might be the only person that knows all that's going on, and that it might be helpful to let you all know a little bit more about all the activity that's occurring. And this team is the best team. One of the best teams I've ever worked with, and the best team we've had since I've been here. And they are, they take their own, to work on their own initiative. They are go-getters. I'm proud of them, and I wanted you to hear the types of things that they have done and that they're involved in. So this is going to be a kind of an overview of what's been going on over the last, in particular, 12 to 18 months. First of all of you know about all that's going on in the broadband development arena. Several years ago, my first meeting I ever had in Grayson County with a individual board member was with Supervisor Fant. And what I wanted to meet with each of you about was to talk about what you thought were the most important initiatives for this county. First thing he mentioned was broadband. We ended up forming a committee. The committee met for several months. We brought in a consultant to help us figure out what the situation was currently like here in Grayson County, and we knew that less than just about half of our people had no access to the internet. So we hired a consultant, Sandy Terry, to help us out. She did a fantastic job with us. We ended up hiring a company, Gigabeam, to work with us on putting the internet and broadband in place. And then we had the great luck of Appalachian Power coming to us, and along with our work with at the state level, to be able to change a couple of laws that needed to be changed in order to allow Appalachian Power to move forward with a pilot program to put fiber in throughout Grayson County, which is going on as we speak. So we are transforming the county, and we are counting the days until the first home is turned on. But we're transforming the county from the least connected county in the Commonwealth to one of the most connected counties rural counties in the nation. So super excited about that, and lots of people have been involved. Nobody more than Supervisor Fant and Carl Cadill and Appalachian Power with Amanda Cox and Israel O'Quinn. And we're waiting for the results of that to occur, that whole project to occur in the very near future. When it comes to economic development, Grayson County has frequently been in partnership with the town of Independence, assisted in the recruitment or expansion of multiple businesses in Grayson County. These efforts have led to the creation of 170 new jobs in Grayson County over the past 18 months. Part of that includes the next 2 months, which is when Food City will be opening back up on December the 8th. But we have assisted the Railroad Cafe, which will have its grand opening this coming Saturday at 11 o'clock in White Top. And so we're really excited about that. We're going to have a ribbon cutting there, and we'd invite everybody to come that has an interest in that. We worked with the town to recruit metalworks to the county. We worked with the town to help Food City to do the expansion that they're doing. We worked with River Ridge Meats to help them with their expansion. And we worked with Wood Grain in the purchase and expansion of the Independence Lumber factory. So Grayson County is currently grading a 3-acre site at the industrial park that will have a site ready in case there is another business that wants to come into the county and needs access to a site immediately. We've had some calls from folks in the past that are looking for a site-ready location, and we've not had that. So we think that this will help us to be ready for whatever's going to happen as far as possible growth with small businesses in the future. One of the things that we've done that has been relatively unique on a Commonwealth-wide basis is in our agricultural development and enhancement area. When I got here, I had grown up in cities and I didn't know much about agriculture. And I wanted to put forward some agricultural initiatives. And so I thought I would pull together a committee of people that are involved in agriculture in the broadest sense throughout the county and get their input as to what it is that we could do in order to enhance and grow agriculture here in Grayson County. So we have this excellent Ag Advisory Committee that met for several months, maybe for a year or so. And we came up with a lot of ideas. We thought our problem was we didn't have anybody to spend their time putting those ideas into practice. So that led to the creation of a new position. And the new position is called the Agriculture Economic Development Director. And our person that we have in that position now is named Lindsay Young. She's doing a great job. We're really pleased to have her on board, and she's like I said, she's a go-getter. She's getting things done. The new director is in the process of creating a wide array of activities and initiatives to enhance agriculture in Grayson County. One of the things that's happened is that we're really excited about it. We've just seen had the first experience with it is the opening of the Gates Center, which is right across the street from here. The Gates Center has a conference center and an industrial kitchen located inside. And we were able to feed the timber builders that came here last week and the week before. They ate all of their meals in the industrial kitchen that we have there at the Gates Center. And they were prepared by volunteers here in the county that are working along with our staff to get out over 1,800 meals that were served over a 10-day period. So that has been a great kickoff for that entity, and we're hoping that the word will spread about the availability of that industrial kitchen to the public for different activities that would need to utilize the kitchen. And the conference center is used obviously for conferences and for meetings and for special events in the future. We have a person that Lindsay Young is in charge of the Gates Center the agriculture component of the Gate Center, or at least the conference. Let me clarify that. She's in charge of the conference center and the industrial kitchen. But we have Rebecca who's working with us intensively in the industrial kitchen in particular to try to make everything flow as smoothly as possible. And with all the rules and regulations involved, it's been amazing how quickly they put that process into place and how smoothly it went during the time that we had the timber builders, and you're building the wonderful new frame that you see over at the farmer's market. The director has also played a major leadership role in the expansion of Grayson County's agricultural fair, which we believe is just really getting started and has a long way to go to reach its maximum potential. But we hired someone to assist her in working on the agricultural fair. So we're looking for even greater things in the future there. And the agriculture economic director has also put together a new redesigned website for our citizens. So we're pleased about that. When it comes to COVID-19, responsibility for the response to COVID-19 fell on the shoulders of the county, and we happen to have hired an outstanding emergency services coordinator, Paul Hoyle, right before the COVID-19 hit. We were able to we worked with him to help put together a response team and response effort that covered the entire county, that helped us to have one of the lowest rates of COVID deaths in our region per capita. And we're really pleased with the fact that he was able to bring together so many volunteers. The county would have been in so much worse shape with COVID-19 if it hadn't been for the people that came out of the woodwork to try to make this as manageable as possible. So thank you to this is part of what I see as an outsider coming in as part of the tradition of Grayson County is people help each other out. And they step forward when there is a need. And that certainly did happen during COVID-19. We provided over $304,000 of CARES Act money to over 140 small businesses in Grayson County to help keep them going. We provided over $195,000 of CARES Act money to food banks and other not-for-profit organizations in Grayson County. We were selected by the Virginia Association of Counties for creating a COVID emergency fund to help our citizens with urgent needs for money during the pandemic. And in response to COVID-19, we installed touchless faucets, sinks, drinking fountains, paper towel dispensers in the courthouse, in the Gate Center, the health department, the library, sheriff's department, and the recreation department. And we're continuing to respond to COVID-19. It's not over yet, and we still need to be as cautious as we can be and make sure that we follow all the safety measures that are needed. We wanted to make interacting with the county as user-friendly as possible, and one of the things that we were glaringly behind on that we needed to move quickly on is upgrading our GIS program. So we met with multiple department heads and leaders in the community to say what needs to be involved in a GIS initiative. It's an ongoing process right now, but we now have a person on board who is helping to modernize our GIS process. And it's got a ways to go, but at least the process is moving forward there. And there was also Carl Cadill and Linda Osborne and others worked on the redesign of the county webpage to make it easier to find what the county has to offer. We wanted to look at some restructuring to become more efficient, and as the county services became more complex, we thought it would be important to restructure the organization internally. So we gone through a process over the last 2 or 3 years of restructuring the positions and restructuring who they report to and who they interact with and what their responsibilities are. Well, it's also led to the the growth of a couple of departments that now have a person who is responsible for all the activity that occurs in that particular area. We realized that we were about 10 years behind on salaries for the employees, just as we realized that we were behind with the teachers, and we stepped forward to help the schools to be able to adjust the salaries of the teachers to make it so that they were more in line with what's going on in the region. The board was very adamant about wanting to do the same thing for the employees here in Grayson County, and we went through that process and we put that into place. It's been very well received. It helps us to be competitive in the future. Something really important that has happened since the last time we met that I'm going to ask Lisa Gayhart to do a little bit of give you a little bit of information on is we believe that we found a way that we can reduce the monthly insurance cost for our employees. So we're going to take a little sidebar, and I'm going to let Lisa just briefly tell you what we've discovered and what we can do.
Well, we are currently in the process of open enrollment for our employees to come in and join the group insurance plan or to make changes to their current plans. Within that process, we've had the goal of reducing the cost for families. That premium is an industry across the industry. It was not unique to Grayson County, but it was embarrassing as an HR person to be able to sit down with a new employee, and I just got that out of the way. I just ripped that Band-Aid off first thing, but it was embarrassing to tell those employees, hey, if you have a family, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to pay over $1,000 a month. So we've worked tirelessly over this past year during the budget process. We've talked with multiple insurance providers, multiple brokers on, okay, how can we do this? How can we do this? So we discovered that we had a health reimbursement arrangement. That's one of the benefits that we provide to our employees. And I can get into the details if you want me to, but I'm not going to bore you with those minute details. Anyway, that particular program was so successful, we had more money than we needed. So we were able to now offer that higher, more richer plan to all of our employees at no additional cost. That's one of the really exciting things that we were done. So instead of, we have a $2,000 deductible for our base plan, but with that HRA or that health reimbursement arrangement, employees who have anything applied to their deductible can receive a rebate of up to $1,400 per individual or $2,800 per family. So that's for an individual employee with no dependents, that reduces, on paper, it reduces their deductible down to $600. So we were extremely ecstatic to be able to do that at no additional cost to the employee. Additionally, we had some money left from years ago, more than 10 years ago. We at one time were self-funded. We still had some money in that particular fund. And we thought the premiums themselves are just too high. Can we do anything, that won't affect our budget dollars, so to speak? So this year, we're able to offer anyone who has a dependent, whether it be one or a family, either an additional $50 discount toward their premium, up to a total of $200 off of their premium. So we're very, very excited about that. Thank you, Mr. Shipley, for letting me share and being able to deliver the good news. So we're very excited about that.
Thank you, Lisa. And this is in line with what the board had asked us to look at benefits along with the salary, and this is great. In particular, it doesn't cost us anything more to do it. So we're really pleased about that. We restructured the building and planning and zoning departments, and we've gotten a tremendous response from the public regarding how user-friendly we are, and the ease with which they can move through the process. There's no way to always move through the planning and zoning process easily, but it's been a big improvement from the past. We have decided to revamp all policies and procedures that Grayson County is involved in, and through our attorney, we've been going through that process for a couple of years now. It's still ongoing, but we're making sure everything that we do meets the state requirements and is updated to the most recent requirements. And Lisa has been working intensively on updating the employee handbook, which will be presented to them next month.
When we hear from legal.
Okay. We are looking at enhancing recreational opportunities for Grayson County residents and tourists. Today, we signed a contract to hire a consultant who has international experience to help us develop bike trails throughout Grayson County. So we're real excited about getting this arrangement with this individual. The experience that he has is going to be fantastic for us. And actually, he came to us to talk to us about Grayson County because he thought it was an ideal site for bike paths, high-end bike paths. He has designed bike paths in South America and Western Europe, and we're thrilled to have him on board. We received a grant from the Virginia Outdoor Foundation of $25,000 to develop a walking trail at the Mount Rogers School. We led the Clean River Month initiative in August, which was recognized by the Nature Conservancy as a model for rural counties in the region to keep the New River and other rivers in the area clean. We started phase 2 in the development of the Grayson County Enhancement Trail, and we are working on the development of an Elk Creek Fitness Park. These are not all the things that are going on, but these are things that I thought would reach the level that I wanted to make sure that I shared with you all. One major thing we're working on is preserving the heritage and history of Grayson County. And one of the biggest initiatives is the White Top Heritage Center. And it's in the old Mount Rogers School. And what's happened is the old part of the school is going to be redesigned to become a heritage center, which will have a performance stage. It'll have people making products that are made up in the western part of the county, maple syrup, quilting, musical instruments. It will have artwork from folks up in that particular area, any other products that are being grown in that area that people would like to sell. It's going to revive the old part of the school. The new part of the school is going to be torn down. The old part of the school is being preserved, and the old part of the school has been, even though the new part has been vandalized to some degree, extensively, the old part was never vandalized, which I think shows the respect that people have for that building and what is the fact that it meant so much to the people in the western part of the county. But we received a $50,000 grant from VBAF for the abatement at the Mount Rogers School. Our EDA has provided $100,000 to the Mount Rogers School for the abatement to add to that. And we, in addition, a different initiative, we're working with an entrepreneur who wants to not redesign, but save the roundhouse that is on the river. Many of you have probably seen an abandoned roundhouse from the 1800s. It's a beautiful building, and he wants to restore that, bring that back to life. So we're working with him to help make that happen. We want to make sure that we are doing everything we can to ensure that the infrastructure in Grayson County is as sound as possible. We formed a partnership between the town of Freeze and the county. Richard Farmer is the mayor of Freeze, and he's the primary person responsible for making that partnership work. And we appreciate all that you and your folks have done, Richard, to help make this happen. Thank you. We have, as of 2 days ago, we received an additional $100,000 to put towards redoing and fixing the freeze water system, which means now that we have a total of $488,000 in grant money available to fix the freeze water system. So we are really pleased about that. That'll take us a long way towards ensuring that it will be sound for many years to come.
Bill, that's separate from rescue plan money?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Good question.
Yeah.
We've upgraded facilities at the recreation park, including new water heater in the bathroom at the picnic shelter, dusk to dawn LED lights at the picnic shelter, dusk to dawn floodlights at the trailhead concession stand. We have received 3 smart scale grants for road repairs in the county. And we've begun the Eagle Bottom Phase 2 restoration project with $516,000 of grant money. We believe that one of the key economic development opportunities for Grayson County is tourism. And so we have an outstanding tourism director. Her name is Tracy Cornett. And working together with our outstanding grants person, Deb Jones, who has really helped us tremendously. All these grants have come through her, or she's had something to do with making them possible. In the tourism economic development area, we received a $10,000 grant from Wanderlove to pay for tourism TV advertising for Grayson County. We received a recovery marketing leverage grant of $20,000 for tourism marketing of Grayson County in magazines. We received an RMLP grant of $10,000 to promote the development of the Grayson County Artisan Trail. And one of the most exciting things that I'm going to announce to you right now is that we've been working on the Legends of Grayson Music Heritage Initiative. And 2 gentlemen from the Atlanta area came to meet with us, I guess maybe a couple of years ago, to express how much they loved old time country music and what an unbelievable place Grayson County was in the creation of old time country music, which I didn't know much about, I'll be honest. These people were passionate about this and said, this, I don't know if everyone realizes this, but this is the starting point of old time country music. And so they had these grand ideas about what they wanted to do. And we said, well, we're open to, to talking to you about this. It sounds interesting. It might work really well with the White Top Heritage Center, the performance stage there. Well, once these 2 gentlemen got the go ahead to move ahead, they have taken off. And I just met with them, how long ago was it, 2 days ago? 2 days ago. And I'm going to read to you what they've accomplished. They are we're going to have our first Legends of Grayson County Festival on April 1st and April 2nd, 2022. Steve Saltis and Mark Boyles are 2 old-time music aficionados from the Atlanta, Georgia area. They approached us almost a year ago with the idea of holding a festival here in Grayson County to kick off the old-time music season each year. Their idea is to honor a different deceased Grayson County musician each year. This year's honoree is Thornton Spencer of the White Top Mountain Band, who passed away about 3 years ago. His family, including Emily, Martha, and Kilby, will perform and speak at the first event. The event will be more than a concert. It will be a 2-day affair with concerts, jams, talks, movies, workshops, food, merchandise, and more. The first event will be held at the 1908 courthouse with concerts upstairs, jams outside, weather permitting, and workshops in various spaces throughout the building. Kitty Watson and Jeff Miller will cater food for both days using the Gates Center commercial kitchen, featuring what they're calling a Taste of Grayson. The 1908 Foundation is using this opportunity to rebrand and reinvent the Treasury Gift Shop. The shop will be given a facelift and new items will be added, including books about musicians, a kids' corner, local artist works, a new 1908 t-shirt, and Grayson tourism merchandise. The plan is to eventually move the event to the Western Grayson Music and Craft Museum, and all proceeds will then go to either the JAM, which is the Junior Appalachian Musicians Program, or the White Top School renovation project. So we are really excited about this opportunity. The county is helping to sponsor this, but these gentlemen have done almost all of this just on their own and their own initiative. We'll give you more about that as that advances. Back to the list, Grayson County's government has participated in 16 festivals this year held in Grayson County. We established a tourism zone, which makes it easier for folks that want to provide any kind of tourism-related business to be able to function here in Grayson County. We've had the creation of a Grayson County tourism website and the creation of a Grayson County tourism video. We are very interested in providing affordable, accessible, and accountable health care to Grayson County residents. My background is in healthcare. We tried to get what's called a federally qualified health center here. We just about got it, but we lost out for good reason. We lost out because the hurricane that hit Puerto Rico did so much damage that the government shifted the money that they were going to use for funding new FQHCs in the mainland. Primarily, they moved it to Puerto Rico to help them recover from the process. But that did not mean we stopped. We still had a partnership with Tri-Area Community Health, and they've opened a healthcare facility in Grant, and that has been going very well. They see between 30 to 60 patients per week. We are going to be opening a second healthcare facility in the Baywood School, and we are discussing with the folks in Elk Creek about possibly opening another healthcare facility in the Elk Creek area. So, we believe that you've got to have broadband, you got to have access to the internet, you got to have healthcare, you got to have good education, you got to have childcare. We don't have childcare. So another thing, I'm jumping out of my own order here, but they fit together. Childcare is an absolute need in this community. And we've partnered with United Way and with DSS and various entities in the county here to move that forward as quickly as we can. Lisa Gayhart's playing a major role in working on that, along with Amanda Shore from down in the DSS. So we're working with a couple that would like to establish a child care facility. We haven't gotten to the point where we can tell you more about it at this point, but it's looking very positive that we're going to be trying to open 1 or 2 new child care centers in the next 12 to 18 months. We helped the rooftop of Virginia to receive a $100,000 grant from the United Way. I can't remember the details of that. Lisa, do you remember what that goes for 10 children at what age?
10 children with a target age of 3 to 4.
Age 4, okay.
And some 5, depending on birthdays, but it's for kindergarten readiness.
So a lot more to do in the child care area, but I just put my next slide. Okay, and then other accomplishments, we think it's very important that Grayson County be a leader in the high-tech educational arena. And we've had the fortunate opportunity to work with Moog Industries and with other school systems, universities in the region to put forward this Baywood Technical Center project, which is now moving along at a pretty fast pace, in which we'll be able to offer high-tech educational opportunities for our young people there that want to go into the high-tech world that is becoming just a part of everyday life in the United States. High-tech jobs are going to be greatly in demand as we move forward in time. They are now. They'll be even more so in the future. And we are excited to be able to be moving forward on getting the building ready and bringing together universities like Virginia Tech, UVA, Radford, the community colleges in the area, Moog Industries, and creating a new educational center in that empty building. We have reactivated and restructured the EDA, the Economic Development Authority. Got a good, strong group of folks involved in that entity, and that has come to life. They've already given out 3 grants of money that, just in the 2 or 3 months they've been back in existence, and we're real pleased about that. There's a whole lot going on in the with the senior advocacy. Is it senior advocacy committee? That's been going on for several years, and it's helped to put Grayson County on the map as a leader in being in working with making our county as user friendly as possible for our senior citizens. And so we have so much work has been done that it brought this county to the attention of AARP. And AARP contacted us and worked through Sandy Troth. Many of you may know, but Sandy Troth and the committee that Supervisor Fant serves on, to help us be selected as a pilot county to work on rural senior initiatives. And we have meetings probably every, 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Then it seems like that there's something we have to do on the webinar with AARP. But it's really not something we have to do, but something that we're invited to participate in. And we are giving a presentation on what we did in the broadband arena. When is that? Is that tomorrow? Tomorrow, okay. And then lastly, we have Renee has just done a fantastic job on working to integrate drug offenders back into society through the Day Report program. She has a Day Report program that it's been the most successful year. It's reduced jail days to the tune of $156,402 for Grayson County in the past year. And in fact, one of the graduates of the Day Report program now works for the county and has done a great job for us over, how long has he been on board with us now?
A year.
Over a year. But no drop back or no falling off the wagon or anything like that. He's just done a great job with us. But I just wanted you to know what your team is doing, and I wanted to brag about the people that I had the pleasure of having report to me, and I wanted you to know what I get to hear every month. So I appreciate you letting me have the time to tell you about this, and it wouldn't have happened if we didn't have the support of the board. We appreciate you big time. Anybody have any questions?
Well done.
Sir.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to old business, we have none, new business. ARPA tourism grant, EDA recommendation. Do that, Mr. Shep.
Yes, sir. The ARPA funds, the new funds that are coming in from the federal government, they have given each of the PDC, planning district commissions, a certain amount of tourism dollars that they can spend in their particular zone. Our PDC, Mount Rogers PDC, received approximately $10 million. And we were informed by the PDC, do I have that in here? I do, don't I? That no one was applying, none of the other counties had applied for the money. So it was a very short turnaround, but what we discovered is this, is if we basically, to make a long story short, if the county can match with $200,000 an application for a grant from out of this ARPA money, we're eligible to receive $1 million. $200,000 from the county can gain us $1 million on the Mount Rogers school project.
Is that real dollars or is that in kind?
It's real dollars.
Real dollars.
Yes, and it's actually more than that. I'm just using And our contribution is a little more than two, it's like 210. But we thought it was too good of an opportunity. It was a very brief turnaround. It was too good of an opportunity to miss. So we brought it to the EDA and suggested to the EDA that they put in $140,000 of the $200,000. And that the county, from the economic development line item, put in the other 60,000. It's more than that again, it's 210, 212. And the EDA voted to do that. They voted to put the 140,000 in. And, I'd like for us to put our 60 in. We've indicated to them that we've applied for the grant. We don't have to, if the board decided that they did not want to move forward, we can step back, but we are at least in the mix. We didn't miss the deadline to try to get it in. So we're waiting. I think we find out in the next 2 months whether we get the grant. It's actually a total of.
So it's a competitive process within MRPDC?
Yes, and according to the MRPDC people, when we applied, we were the only ones that had applied. So I don't know if other folks have applied since then, but we just thought it was too good of an opportunity to pass up, and it sounded like it fit with the EDA as a possible funding, matching source. So I just wanted to let you all know that that's what the EDA voted to do, and that we're sitting there, we're waiting to hear what comes out of that. That would pay for almost the entire Mount Rogers project. So this would be a wonderful opportunity. Right. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll keep you updated on it. Okay, let's see. The schedule. Can I just move on to the next?
Yes.
Okay. Lisa and Mitch and I were talking about the ARPA money, the new ARPA money that we have, and we talked with you all a little bit about it. I think a couple board meetings ago, and maybe a little bit in the last board meeting. And you guys, we got the impression that you were very interested in having a discussion about how those ARPA funds are going to be spent, and we want you to do that. That's going to be helpful to us. But what we thought the best way to do it would be to have a work session, so we can get your ideas and figure out where do we already have money. Like you pointed out, there's money being spent in freeze from grants. Well, if we don't take a little bit more money from ARPA, then we won't be able to complete the project. That would be the kind of thing we need to discuss. So what we're proposing to you is that we have a work session. And do we have dates and stuff? Okay. To be able to make sure that we are, the ARPA money doesn't have to be spent real quickly. There's about a 3-year period?
It must be at least obligated by 2024, but we have until 2026 to spend it all.
Okay, so we're not in any kind of rush to do it, but we need to think it through and make sure that we're getting the biggest bang for the buck, over the years. But our proposal to you all is that we sit down together and figure out how we want to use it.
So, of the meetings that are listed there, are we to pick one of those, or you all are meeting?
Yeah.
So one of those.
Yep. So, Linda, are you looking for them to pick that right now?
Those are the 3 dates, or the 4 dates that works with my staff.
You want to just follow up with them, or?
It's whatever the pleasure is.
Email.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
November the 8th out for me, so I'll throw that in before you're done.
Okay.
Okay. Is that all, Mr. Shepherd, on that?
Yes,
Okay. All right, let's move on to the budget calendar. Talk about next year already.
Yes, and Linda put this together, and she explained what her thought process was of having why there's so many budget work sessions in here? You want to tell them, Linda?
Well, Lisa and I were talking, it's easier to have a date and not need it than to need a date and with 5 members trying to find a date that will work for everyone. So she suggested adding, well, I think like 3 or 4 more to get on the calendar, everybody's calendars. Then if we come to it, we don't need it, it's easier to cancel than it is to try and find a date for everyone.
I thought that was a good approach. Okay. So do we need official?
Well, we will need to approve the calendar at some point.
Yeah, can we just review that and then do it next month? Is
Yeah.
that okay?
That is fine.
Sounds good. No discussion on the budget calendar. Okay, we're on Mount Rogers Community Service Board summary.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, one question. Is the joint meeting with the school board, is that a date that we've agreed to now or not yet?
I spoke with Mary and that date is good with her board.
Okay.
So if it's good with you all, then they will work.
Right, okay.
Mount Rogers Community Service Board, so.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, every year that Mount Rogers submits to all the players in the Mount Rogers Community Services region a very extensive contract, which is, what did you say, Linda, 144 pages, right?
Yeah.
147 pages. So we're looking for approval of the contract, but the summary of what they're asking for is in what you have here, this 2-page document. The bottom line for Grayson County is we budgeted, in our budget, we put in $52,000 to pay them for this upcoming year. You all approved that, and that's how much they're asking from us. So all we're asking you to do is to move forward with some money that you've already approved, so that we can send the contract and sign the contract and send it back in. So how would that vote occur?
Well, if we've already appropriated the money and it's budgeted
Yeah,
for
that's
that amount, you have the authority to do it. We can give a consensus.
Okay, that'd be
You
great.
okay with that? Yeah.
Thank you.
Tom, you still on there?
I am.
Okay. I can't see your consensus, but anyway. Moving on board appointments.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, when it comes to the Board of Equalization, we sent out notices to the 5 individuals that had served before to ask if they'd like to serve again. Dan Boyer from the Old Town District said he will serve. Danny Boyer from the Providence District will be unable to serve. Kate Irwin from the Wilson District will serve. Don Dudley from the Providence District will serve. Reese Sage from the Wilson District will be unable to serve. So we are needing an at-large and somebody from the, which one? Elk Creek, okay.
Take the position that Mr. Boyer had. I still have Mr. Dudley. He would represent the vote.
Okay.
So we want to make one motion for the 1, 2, 3 that will serve. Make a motion for Dan Boyer, Old Town, Kate Irwin Wilson, and Don Dudley Providence. Got a motion to approve those 3. Here a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye? Aye.
Bye.
Chairman, one question on that. So he needs a minimum of 4, 1 from each district, but prefers 5 with the at-large, or is there a requirement for 5? 4 doesn't give you the odd vote, obviously, but
I don't know the answer to that. Do you know?
But we need
I'll have
to
to-
try to get two more,
Yes.
Elk Creek and the at-large.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
Let's see, New River Valley Jail, the alternate will be Chief Deputy David Ashby will retire on October 31st, 2021. Lieutenant Gary Hash has been appointed the Chief Deputy effective November 1st, 2021, and will serve as an alternate for the sheriff effective 11/1/2021.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Thank you.
Alright, it's all the board appointments, next county administrator report.
The only thing I have, Mr. Chairman, was I wanted to just remind everybody about the ribbon cutting for Saturday that I already mentioned, the Railroad Market and Cafe, Saturday, October 16th, 11 a.m. in White Top. It's gonna be exciting. It's a great new restaurant / store, and I think you'll be very pleased to see what's been done out there.
Mr. Smith, rest for speakers.
You have to.
Y'all get those first, sir. We have Jeannie Hayes.
Mitch, Jeannie's she's in the lobby,
So we,
Miss Hash.
Is Miss Richardson here?
She's in the lobby as well.
Are you ready for me?
Miss Hayes, we are.
Well, I'll present over here. I've never done this before, so bear with me.
You're fine. I'll just remind everybody it's 3 minutes. No question and answers, it's mostly just informational.
I have some stuff to pass over here. I think most of you know me. I live in Elk Creek on Sweetwater Road. And the reason I'm here tonight, but I understand some of the other people have got a road issue. I would like to request that the VDOT act fairly quickly about the traffic and the speed that has become horrific on my road. The road beside my house is only 12 feet wide, and the road itself is only 10 feet from my house. So you can imagine how this creates a lot of anxiety. And I did do some bullet points that I have been there since '82. And I've mentioned about how the road is only 12 feet wide and 10 feet from my house. And that there's a lot of failure to stop at the stop sign. I've been keeping a log since February, and this is already just me being at home when I work part-time, 7 pages. So there's been 3 serious crashes within a half a mile of my house, from residents who live behind me on Sweetwater. Of course, there's ATVs, side-by-side gators, and then your usual mail service, garbage, and things like that. But for me to get from my home to where my firewood is and my shed and all that, it has become a very, very scary ordeal, because I never know when someone's going to come down off a big ridge at a ridiculous speed and just, I know one car came through there and they were going so fast that their hubcap flew off into my shed.
And then 2 weeks later is when they had a head-on crash behind my house. And I am aware that there has been a lot of expenditure within a half a mile of my house due to the Christmas tree industry. There was $23,300 that was spent on the guardrail because of force that had been removed. And there's also $4,500 that was spent on road repair because of the Christmas tree industry. I have searched my deed all the way back to 1870, and there's no record of easement, not even the Bird Act. There's no right of way, there's nothing. And I do know there is a gentleman out in Bristol with VDOT that's working on that right now. But I just, I'm here to ask for help because this is scary, it's dangerous, and I would like to have the Board of Supervisors on board for this, to work with the VDOT, to take care of this dangerous situation. And my neighbor is here tonight, and she's written a very nice letter. She has not an Airbnb, but a rental behind my house. And a lot of her rental people, they think that is a driveway. The road is that narrow that they think it's a driveway. So I can leave this letter with you if you'd like to read it. Do you have any questions for me?
Are you looking for a real rustic road or widened? Or?
No, I mean, I know the criteria for a secondary road is 40 feet. 12 feet don't get it. And it's on an average day, there's like 30 to 40 cars on this 12-foot road. I'm sure, John, you know where I live.
Yeah, I think what you're asking though is you're bringing to us a safety issue because of the way the state road runs on your property.
It's running right through. You can see where I
That's
copied.
between your house and the shed.
Yes, I mean, I provided you with a copy. Yes,
Right.
it's splitting right down through.
So
It's practically my front yard.
Right, so what you're asking us to do is to work with VDOT to try to resolve this issue the safety issue that you've got there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're asking, right? I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm
No.
just trying to make sure.
As I said at the beginning, I've never done this before. I
Well,
felt
I
like
make it
I
up
need to
every
bring
day.
it to your attention because it's getting increasingly worse. I've been there 39 years and it is just. My mailman says to me all the time, he says, I'm afraid you're going to get hurt badly one of these days, just trying to get your mower out or whatever.
So I know we've had VDOT look at.
If we make sure that we have your address and your phone number, then we can give the VDOT, get this looked at.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Thanks, Gus.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
job for the first time.
I do like to talk. So.
Be safe going home.
I will. I'm gonna write it down.
Miss Elder Richardson.
If I can find it. I'm gonna write it.
I'm Zelda Richardson, and I would first like to, I've got quite a few people here. Tom Rebels told me that I needed to bring as many people as possible to make a good showing. I guess he forgot about the pandemic and the restriction, but they have worked really hard today. They all have jobs, and then they've driven almost an hour from Whitetown to get here, so I'd really like for them to be able to come in, and maybe they just
Yeah, that's okay. That's all
tell
right.
everybody coming on in case they have something to say. I'm going to tell you about a little bit of history here in Grayson County too. I want to talk about an old dirt road. But to call it an old dirt road would be a bit of an exaggeration. It's a mud hole when it rains. It's 1.8 miles, according to my estimation, according to my measuring skills. It's called Hilton Creek Plain. There's 14 houses that live on it, 14 families and a church. When it rains, this road is a mud hole. It's slick as a peeled onion, cars slide off of it all the time. The men that live on this road Gail Blevins and his boys that live on this road. My husband pull people out of the ditches all the time. When it quits raining, we have huge potholes. Gail Blevins and his boys fill the potholes in. We take care of the road ourselves most of the time. We call and complain. We get some gravel thrown on it. They throw it in spots, just in spots on this road. Big gravel, sharp gravel. And then we start getting flat tires. My granddaughter's had 3 flat tires in the past year. When I visited my neighbors a couple of weeks ago to get this petition signed to upgrade the road to a hardtop, 2 neighbors were dealing with flat tires at that time because of the gravel. Like I said, Gail and his boys fill in the holes themselves most all the time. When it snows, they scrape the road. My husband scrapes the road. It's a washboard. Half the road is a washboard that shakes our vehicles to pieces. My husband has put 3 sets of leaf springs on his trucks. He's getting ready to put another set on his big truck. He tells me that a set of leaf springs should last a year on it, or a lifetime of the vehicle. I asked the other men that live there, and they said, yes, that's true. And they're constantly replacing shocks, like they're changing tires. They're putting front ends in their vehicles. We drive to town. Our cars are so covered up with dirt and mud. We wash them. We do our business in town. We come back to White Top. Our cars are just as bad as they were that morning when we left. When the weather's dry, then we have the dust problem. Have allergies. I've been living on this road 26 years, 2 years there. Never had allergies before in my life. I had to go to the allergy doctor for a year getting allergy shots, which did no good. And then we did over a year with the drops. And the doctor finally said, there's just nothing else. You're just like you were. And almost every house on this road, somebody in the family has allergy problems. That's no way to live. All the people on this road are hard-working people. We pay our taxes. We have farmers. We have Christmas tree growers. We have restaurant employees. We have textile workers, factory workers. We have a realtor that lives on this road. We have someone from the prison that works at our prisons on this road. Our White Top mail carrier lives on this road. We're all hardworking, tax-paying people, and we are petitioning this board to upgrade this road to a hardtop road. This road is bad. It's been a state road as long as anybody can remember. It's probably an antique. It's been a state road for years and years and years, as long as some of the old timers have passed on that lived on this road, and it just doesn't get taken care of. A state road, Virginia State Road. Virginia should be ashamed to call this road a state road. We're ashamed of it. That's why we keep it up ourselves most of the time. I have, I think that's about all. Make sure I got everything in that everybody wanted me to see. I have a petition that's signed by all the people that live on this road. I would like to present that to somebody.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for all your effort.
Water. The bathroom shot out
Oh,
to one of
no.
the things, but you can still read
Yeah,
it.
don't worry about that.
So I'd like to thank everybody for coming and taking the time. We wanted to show you guys that we're really serious about this. We're tired of not complaining. We started complaining this year, and we want to get this road fixed. Any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, turn the lights off on them.
Mr. Chairman, I have traveled that road often, and Ms. Richardson is describing accurately the physical conditions of the road. And, you know, with 14 families and people that are going and coming every day, it does wear and tear on the road. And she's right, when they attempt to repair the road, they dump gravel here and there, scatter it, and the next good rain, you don't even know they put gravel on the road. So I can't attest to all the other personal things that have been attributed to this, but I can tell you the description of the road is spot on. It's very accurate.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Next, I have Danny Davis. And 3 minutes, sir.
Well, I live on this road too, and 2008, I bought a new car. 2014, I had to replace all the springs on coil springs. Well, I bought a new car, not old car, brand new. Jetta, in 2014, 2016, I had to replace the springs. My taxes went from $175 20 years ago to almost $1,300. No improvements, the minicab. My mom paid $1,600 per land and home. Now she paid $1,600 a year, over $1,600 a year in taxes. Besides these people, there's a doctor from West Jackson, Dr. Jones, over 100 acres. There's Dr. Barbarians, just remodeled his campus, Brother Ridge. There's a couple from Chicago that owns a nice log home there. And there's a lady from Maryland that owns 800 acres. We pay a lot of taxes about with no improvements in the past 60 years. I've lived there all my life. We had one improvement on the milk bank about 60 years ago. They graded it a little bit, and that's been it since forever. We pay a lot of taxes. We deserve a little bit of something for all the taxes we pay. And a decent road, high-face decent, is not too much to be asked for.
Thanks, sir. And Mr. Gail, or Miss Gail Blevins. Gail Blevins? Who? Gail Blevins. Gail. What is?
Yeah, the road there, there's a lot of potholes in it, and I mean, it's just, sometimes I'm one, I stop it. So won't turn the car, it looks so bad, going down the car. And we, the boys, they put ball joints in our car, they have come over 2 or 3 months, they got put ball joints in them, and I mean, it's just uncalled for, and I know we all up there pay taxes, but it all most time come down to lower end of the county, because we don't get nothing from it. So I think, you know, we deserve at least a decent road going down on, and I think we do deserve that. I appreciate, you know, if they could help us out on that, do that. But we do need a better road to get in and out on. So I know we've all done a lot of things for the league, but it's something about all the time, you know, we got to put forward going, tile on the end, and this and that on. We just don't get much. Appreciate it. Get something done, but you gotta think about it.
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I have down as speaking, is that correct? Very good. We will take this to VDOT. I mean, VDOT's got the final word in it, and get this on the plan, and safety, it's a safety thing, and we'll just always go and say, we'll get with VDOT, see what we can.
How long will it be before we hear anything or know anything?
Usually, I mean, he will look at it and he'll measure it and see what, you know, a little rustic is tar and gravel. It has to meet specs, state specs, which is 16 foot wide with 2 foot on each side for drainage. They will just have to go and measure it and then they report back to us where it meets it or not. And if it's a safety thing like the one beforehand, then, I mean, it's all VDOT. We can't say, go fix it. It's VDOT money. We just suggest it, recommend it, and then they'll get back with us.
Okay. I'll put it in tomorrow.
And he's pretty good. Andy he'll be on it. That's good. That's really right.
It might take him a little bit to do all these things.
Just
I'll
so,
put the request in tomorrow.
just so we're clear though, what we're talking about doing is trying to address some of the safety issues, right? To get it paved is a much longer process. Okay, so we have a program, and it's VDOT's program, it's called a 6-year plan. But if we vote on if we decide we get about 2 to 3 miles a year of allocation state funds to improve secondary roads in the county. And so each spring we do that, we vote on these roads and we allocate it, you know, based on a lot of the criteria you all laid out tonight. But if we decide next spring to put Hilton Creek Lane on that plan, it's 6 years before they pave it. Now, that doesn't mean we can't make some other improvements based on the things you discussed tonight. But I don't want you to leave out of here thinking that if we say, yeah, we're going to do something is to pave it and it's going to happen in the spring. That's not.
But we'll know, we'll get a decision.
So in the spring, VDOT will come, they'll say, hey, here are the roads, and Hilton Creek will be one of those that we'll get on there for them to assess, like the chairman said. And then we'll have a discussion on all the other roads that we also have trouble with in the county. And then we'll make a decision based on, you know, a lot of it has to do with your all's input. And so once we make that decision, then it'll go on the list, and then you're on the list, and it'll get funded, and then it'll eventually get approved. But I just don't want y'all to walk out of here thinking that it's going to happen. Some things may happen quickly, but the pavement piece, what you're after, won't happen quickly. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Not that you agree, but I want to make sure you just have that understanding of the program or the process.
VDOT comes every spring, and we have open meetings just like this. I recommend you all come every time.
Absolutely.
And what time, when will that be?
Generally in May.
May.
And they'll be in the.
That would be an advertisement.
There'll be an advertisement, but generally it's in the paper, but we generally also put it on the website. So if you do up there, go to the library or whatever, you happen to check it. I know the paper doesn't flow up there as quickly either, if at all. Tom said he was gonna set up a delivery service. He hadn't done that. But, but just stay connected. Worst case, just call Linda and say, hey, when's the VDOT 6-year plan meeting? And then we can go.
Tom told me it was in March.
No.
So it's in May.
It varies, I think, by municipality. I think we generally fall in May timeframe.
You've been the ditch line though, that way before the rain, it'll come right off the road, the mud.
Right.
You could get things like that, it took care of, and help us a lot.
And clean up the town, you know, little towns. By the time gravel gets to that end of the county, a ton of gravel, they stretch it a long ways, fellas. And they'll bring a road scraper all the way up there and just get here and there on the dirt road. I mean, it wouldn't take that much more time to scrape that road while they was there.
When I was cross ties is stopped up through there, they all need to be replaced up through there.
Yeah.
All the lead is put stopped up.
Cross ties.
They got holes in them, and they just come up there, and instead of replacing them, all they do is put a piece of metal over it and put that. I mean, no offense, I mean,
Diane?
It's the worst state I've ever seen about keeping up the roads.
That's right.
Yeah, North Carolina roads ain't nothing like Virginia roads.
And you know, it's like they said, you know, if they just do some upkeep on what we got there until they get do something, that would make a big difference.
Yeah.
Right. We'll talk to
Yeah.
Andy tomorrow
We can talk to him about that.
about the culverts and about some gravel and, you know, some shaking up of the road would really help get the water going the right direction. And then, like I say, be back on here in May.
Yeah, that's
and
crucial.
talk about it. That's crucial. And I wish you had done it 20 years ago.
We're not a complaining bunch of people, but we're going to starve. We are going to starve.
No, but it helps, you know, it does help, you know, so.
No, we appreciate your community involvement. I mean, that's helps us big time.
Remember how many times Big Bridge?
Yeah, I was just thinking about
Big Bridge group came to, just like this group, well, they finally,
year after year.
they got some attention after several years. They got fixed.
You're doing the right thing.
You know, thank you all for coming out.
Thank you very much.
You
You
said.
don't have to leave, you can stick around for the rest of
We got a long drive. Long drive, early work.
Be careful.
Safe travel.
Thank y'all.
Next we'll go to supervisor's time.
Yeah, I just have one thing. Over the last few weeks, I've talked to some folks from White Top community area. I've talked to Tom Rebels about it, sent Bill a note about it. Has to do with the Virginia Creeper Trail. One specific individual talked about, concerned about the upkeep of the old White Top station, landscaping and just overall not having access to it. And then another one talked about the state of repair of the trail itself and also the restrooms that are along the trail not being serviced. And of course, right now is probably one of the peak times that people are on that trail. And so I don't know why the trail or the restrooms aren't being maintained or any of that. And one of them is a business owner up there that uses that trail quite often for recreation and tourism. And just last weekend, last Saturday, they put 168 people on that trail. They came to Grayson County and they were going to ride on that trail. And to have those facilities not being maintained is a concern. And so I guess my request to the administration is if we can engage those organizations, kind of figure out, you know, what's going on and if there's anything we can do to help get the bathrooms probably is the number one thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe the trail maintenance, I don't know what that process is like, because that, and Tom, is there anything?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'm on the board of the Virginia Creeper Trail. And bathroom maintenance is at the whim of the State Park Service. Trail maintenance is a combination of volunteers and the State Park Service. As Mr. Shepley can tell you, the State Park Service controls the White Top Station. And of all the organizations that I've attempted to work with in the last 4 years, State Park Service is the most difficult. It is almost impossible to get answers and action out of that organization.
Yeah.
Bill, I mean, excuse me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I mean, John, I understand her concern. I'm concerned because the station's closed most of the time. But the Park Service has refused to do anything that the county has attempted over the last 2 years to be more involved so that it can be open, better maintained. I mean, you may recall, we painted the station a year and a half ago. So I think anything the county can do and we can do to draw attention to this. But guys, I'm telling you, go outside and talk to the side of the building that you're sitting in because they'll be as responsive as the State Park Service.
Well, I'm wondering if you know, Israel or Senator Pillion or Representative Quinn could help us at the state level of trying to bring some attention from the Park Service.
Sure. That's a good idea.
So,
We'll follow up on that.
yeah.
That'd be the only way, because the Creeper Trail owns nothing. I mean, they own nothing, so they're to them, whoever.
Yeah.
I think that's about the only way we would do something.
Okay. There's a regional concern too, because it affects Sandy and that area too.
Yeah, it's a whole, I mean, the whole route is exactly.
Yeah.
Might be, Leah might need to make a,
Statement or something. Yeah.
well, Washington County's not in that, are they?
It used to be.
Anyway,
We'll follow up on
if we can get them engaged and see what, the county can do. But
Okay.
definitely is a concern up there for the folks that are trying to make a living and do what it is we say is important.
Right.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Sir, Tom, was you volunteering to do the restrooms? Is that what I couldn't understand that.
The paper delivery.
I'll be happy to, Mr. Chairman, whatever you ask.
Well, we never got the paper delivered, so I ain't looking for the restrooms to get cleaned up. I appreciate that. Okay, we're down to closed session. I hear a motion going to closed session to discuss personal matter and as A1 and A5, being the prospective business or industrial.
Second.
Second, well, I think all in favor, aye. 5 minute break, closed session.